You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You tuned in to the best, and that's no other than G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy, support good content at all times. All social media is in the description box, and please hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I drop that heat. Now, I haven't been drinking. I haven't had any adult beverages. I haven't been smoking the finest weed. I'm perfectly fine, perfectly coherent. You read the title correctly. I'm not tripping. Robert Easter Jr. will upset Mikey Garcia Saturday, July 28th, 2018. Now, let me get a couple of things out of the way first. For the people that do know me, y'all know how I do with the breakdown and prediction videos. When it comes down to breakdown and prediction videos, I am 19 wins, 1 loss, 3 draws. Check the channel for all of the videos for official breakdown and predictions. So when it comes down to this, I usually get them right. That's number one. Number two, I know you read the title and you're like, oh, well, he got to be a Mikey Garcia hater. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Mikey Garcia, number one, is one of my favorite fighters. I love watching him fight. He's the epitome of what you call a boxer puncher. Those are my favorite type of fighters because you get the best of both worlds. A guy that's technically sound and a guy that can crack. It's my favorite type of fighter. And the last time I did a top 5 pound for pound video on the channel, and y'all can go back and check that out too, I actually had Mikey Garcia number 4 on my pound for pound list, and I had him ahead of Vasil Lomachenko at that time. So it's absolutely no hate at all when it comes down to Mikey Garcia. No matter how things shake out Saturday night, he's still going to be one of my favorite fighters, point blank, period. Now, let me get to why I'm having problems with Mikey Garcia going into this fight. Number one, it doesn't seem like he's completely focused. It's number one. Doesn't seem like he's completely focused. Seems like he has his mind on future moves, future fights, setting his legacy, which is all fine, but you have to take care of the person that's in front of you before you can do that. All he's been talking about is guys that he want to fight next after he beats Robert Easter Jr., including Earl Spence Jr., which I think he's absolutely crazy to want to fight Earl Spence, because I think Earl Spence gets him out of there within 6 rounds. So that's one problem that I have with Mikey Garcia. Number two, he's coming from 140, where he won a title at 140, and he has to come back down to 135. He obviously did not want no smoke with any of the guys at 140 pounds. And I don't blame him, because all the names are at 135. So I don't blame him for that. It just seems like he's not 100% focused on Robert Easter Jr. Okay? That's a big problem that I have with Mikey Garcia. Now, I don't know that for a fact. Like, that's just me outside looking in. Doesn't seem like he's completely focused. That's number one. Number two, he said in an interview, and I don't know what interview it was, and I would have to go check it after the video, but I know he said in a previous video, it was an older video, he said out of all of the champions at 135 pounds that Robert Easter Jr. would be the toughest one to beat. But then they interviewed him right before they signed the fight, and he said that he felt like that before, but he doesn't feel like that now after the Javier Fortuna fight. So he's basing his confidence in this fight partially on Javier Fortuna. Javier Fortuna. He fights nothing like Javier Fortuna. Javier Fortuna fights nothing like him. But for some reason, Mikey Garcia seen things in that fight against Robert Easter Jr. that has led him to believe that he can get the victory over Robert Easter Jr. And if that's how he feels, cool. Fair enough. And the third thing with Mikey Garcia is nobody's going to take away the fact that he's a 4-weight division world champion. Nobody's going to take away the fact that he's probably on everybody's top 10 pound for pound, and he's on my top 5 pound for pound list. But the one thing with me being a hardcore boxing fan, the one thing that boxing history has shown me is some of the greatest fighters in the world, some of the greatest fighters to ever lace them up, has had that one fighter that's been the kryptonite. Roy Jones, one of the greatest fighters of all time. His kryptonite was Antonio Tarver. You can even go back to Alexis Arguello, taking it back. His kryptonite was Aaron Pryor. Like, I can go on and on with guys that have a person that's just a kryptonite. Even though they may be the better fighter, they're just a kryptonite. Take Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley, one of the greats to lace it up. His kryptonite was actually Winky Wright. His kryptonite was Winky Wright. He could not beat Winky Wright. Everybody that's in boxing that's been a great has a nemesis, a thorn in their side, and in some cases a kryptonite. And I'm looking at it from that angle. I'm not saying that Easter is the better technical boxer or more accomplished. Everything set out for Robert Easter Jr. to be the kryptonite for Mikey Garcia. But let me get into Robert Easter Jr. real quick. Robert Easter Jr., let me get this out of the way first. Whenever people mention Robert Easter Jr., they talk about that Javier Fortuna fight. They talk about the Dennis Shafikov fight, and they talk about the Richard Comey fight. Let me get into the Javier Fortuna fight specifically. The Javier Fortuna fight, nobody talks about this, but Javier Fortuna came in overweight. He came in overweight on purpose. He came in overweight. Like, let's get that out of the way. Number 2, Javier Fortuna has one of the most awkward and dirty styles in boxing. Point blank, period. It is not easy to look good against Javier Fortuna. It's not easy at all. And every good fighter, great fighter, has an off night at the office against somebody that's just awkward, or somebody that doesn't have a big name, or somebody that's just hard to get up for. Pause. I can name plenty of guys that has had off nights at the office, but see, the thing is, you can have an off night at the office, but can you have an off night at the office and still get the victory? That's the thing. Robert Easter Jr. still gets the victory. Whether you thought Javier Fortuna got robbed, if you had Easter winning the fight close, yeah, it was a close fight. Did Robert Easter Jr. look a little sloppy in that fight? Yeah, I would say more unmotivated than anything else. But bottom line is, he came out with the victory against a very awkward opponent and a person that is hard to get motivated for. Bottom line, Mikey Garcia, as great as Mikey Garcia is, Mikey Garcia can't duplicate what Javier Fortuna did, because you can't duplicate that type of awkwardness. You just can't. You can't. Now, Robert Easter Jr., he's a champion. He's a champion, and he's had tough fights. Tough fights. And he's come out on top every single time. 21-0, 14 KOs. This is what I like about Robert Easter Jr. Number one, he's 6'1", way taller than Mikey Garcia. Now, I know what y'all gonna say. Yeah, he gives up his height. Yes, he gives up his height, but it's not a crime for a tall guy to learn how to fight on the inside. Robert Easter Jr. can fight on the inside, and there's nothing wrong with that. Number two, him training with Kevin Cunningham, him having Kevin Cunningham in his corner is going to be huge. It is going to be huge. I think Robert Easter Jr. is going to fight a little different than what he has previously. He hasn't been around Kevin Cunningham enough for Kevin Cunningham to completely transform him, but I think he is able to add some elements to Robert Easter's game that's going to benefit him in this particular fight. I do think he's going to flash a jab a little bit more, and he's going to be a little more precise in terms of when he punches and the punches that he throws against Mikey Garcia. When it comes to physical attributes, Robert Easter Jr. he's top level in terms of just being a physical specimen at 135. He has all of the physical attributes, from the height to the reach, boxing ability. He can fight. And the thing about Robert Easter Jr. got dog in him. Whether you like him or you don't like him, Robert Easter Jr. comes in to fight every single time he gets into the ring. He has dog in him. So how do I think this fight is going to go? I think it's going to be nip and tuck early, but I think later on in the fight, I think Robert Easter Jr. is going to let them hands go. He going to fight on the outside. He going to fight on the inside. And I think Robert Easter Jr. has a good enough chin to take Mikey Garcia's smoke. That's really the key in the whole fight. Can you take the smoke from Mikey Garcia? And I think Robert Easter Jr. can take that smoke from Mikey Garcia. And when a guy is facing a taller fighter, you have to go to the body. Mikey Garcia is not a consistent body puncher. He can go to the body, but he's not consistent. He would have to be consistent this entire fight. And I haven't seen, when is the last time Mikey Garcia ever been, when is the last time he's been in a really, really, really tough fight? Orlando Salido? Can we go that far back? Orlando Salido? It's been a long time since he's been in a real fight, like a fight. It's been a minute. I think Robert Easter has the physical attributes. I think he has the stamina, and I think he has the work rate to push Mikey Garcia and push the pace to a pace that Mikey Garcia doesn't like. Mikey Garcia likes a controlled pace. I don't think Robert Easter Jr. is going to give him that opportunity. Now, I'm going to close it with this. G5 Jeff TV don't run, don't hide, and I damn sure don't shy away from criticism. If Mikey Garcia win, I'll be on the YouTube channel live during the fight and after the fight. So I'll take my crow like a man. But if Robert Easter Jr. pulls this off, all y'all motherfuckers gonna be hearing from me. Each and every one of y'all. Remember the name, G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.